Switch things up just a bit now. Shift our focus to Southern California, my home base, where the CEO of a well-known homeless charity now facing a number of serious federal and fraud charges for allegedly stealing public money and then using it to fund his luxurious lifestyle. According to investigators, the suspect, 42-year-old Alexander Sufer, stole nearly $23 million worth of taxpayer money, which was provided all to support an organization called Abundant Blessings. Then used that cash, they say, to go on lavish vacations, buy high-end designer clothing, and even help pay for his $7 million home. Boy, you talk about lifestyles of the rich and famous. Where's that Robin Leach guy when you need him? Editor Pranav, you got a shot of that guy, Robin Leach, from that TV show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Love that program. Similar to the dozens of disgusting welfare fraud schemes in Minnesota, the suspect's charity was hired by authorities in Los Angeles County, all to provide clean shelter and healthy meals for hundreds of the area's needy homeless residents. However, according to the indictment, he instead concocted a bunch of elaborate fake invoices claiming to serve fresh meals and rent out clean rooms, while instead offering up nothing more than canned beans and cheap ramen, and then using the difference to live like royalty. Authorities say that despite calling his company Abundant Blessings, the only abundant blessings the suspect's organization provided were the ones he gave himself, while homeless people were needlessly left to suffer on the street without any decent food or shelter. As a result, they're charging him with more than a dozen felonies, including wire fraud, conflict of interest, and forgery, and if convicted, facing up to 20 years behind bars. In the meantime, California Governor Gavin Newsom, look at that smiling cat, he's trying to take full credit for the bust, saying that it represents the exact kind of accountability and oversight his state is always pushing for. Who's he kidding? However, the Justice Department has a completely different view altogether. They say that both Newsom and state Democrats are responsible for facilitating this kind of fraud in the first place, just like down there in Minnesota, by handing out billions of taxpayer dollars to nonprofits with zero vetting and no state oversight whatsoever. Final thought, and this is the News Roundup Lowdown. By now, everybody knows that fraud's a big deal in Minnesota. Absolutely. But for the record, Minnesota did not invent fraud. They merely perfected it. They turned it into a bit of a science, kind of a science and an art, kind of a hybrid thing. And not to be outdone by that little Midwest state, Los Angeles, California, my home base, the movie capital of the world, ready for its fraud close-up. And this one has all the makings of a big blockbuster tragedy. You know the story, and it's just disgusting that taxpayer funds allocated to a nonprofit group which was charged with feeding and housing needy people, it was instead reportedly used to purchase fancy cars, designer clothes, fancy hotel lodging, and overseas home for that nonprofit group's CEO. What was he thinking? The big Roundup, we're based here in Los Angeles, and we see daily exactly how tragic and pervasive the homeless situation is. We also see people searching for scraps in garbage bins. And the taxpayer funds meant to help those folks were reportedly spent inappropriately as a real kick in the head. Homeless and hungry people are suffering. Taxpayers have gotten fleeced. Somebody dropped the ball, and where was the oversight? You know, this has happened on a grand scale in Minnesota. It's just a small sample of what's happening here statewide in California. And right about now, you may be wondering what's happening in your state as well. Ask not for whom the fraud tolls. It tolls for thee, and maybe for me. Yeah, maybe for producer Davey and editor Pranav the Magnificent. Yeah, it's a kick in the pants, man. Hey, Bill Thomas here. If you like what you see, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. And don't forget to check out our channel, News Roundup with Bill Thomas. And that's where you can catch our full program and more videos. And we'll see you right back here next time.